East Palestine, you know that we've been all over that situation here at News Nation. The people are happy that they're getting attention, but they believe you don't need to study anything. And you need a lot more than $10 million. They're sick, they have breathing problems, it's all documented and been ignored by the government. What do you want to see happen there, and what can you make happen?
Well, studying it, doing these observational studies and these longitudinal studies of human health is going to document their health impacts. And they're ones that, and we're also going to document the contamination in the area, the water, the dust, the houses. But once you get that documentation, then there are a number of other remedies that are available. And, those include making the companies pay for their treatment and doing medical monitoring programs that force the company from now on to take responsibility for those health impacts. But we're going to document them at NIH using gold standard science, and that's going to be something that the people of East Palestine have not had before.
Yeah, they haven't, and they need it, boy. And there's a good case to be made, not within your jurisdiction or your purview, that the government knew what was happening there, and they slow-walked it, not unlike an insurance company. But, Bobby, that's not your situation. You're dealing with what you can.
I spent a lot of time in East Palestine. I heard the complaints. I saw the government delays with my own eyes. And this is our first step toward trying to fix that and get some justice and get good health for the people of that. If I were president of the United States, I can tell you what would have happened.
What went wrong in the catastrophic Norfolk Southern train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio?
Norfolk Southern would have come in here and bought this whole town and moved this whole town to another place and put these businesses back, put the homes back. And then they'd spend the next 50 years, if need be, cleaning every molecule of dioxin out of this place. And for all those government officials who lied to the public, who were looking for pollution where they knew it wasn't, in order to gaslight the people of this town, those people would be being investigated by the Department of Justice and my administration, and everybody involved, the corporate officials and the regulatory officials, would be held accountable, both criminally and civilly. Nobody in this town now asks for dioxin in their yard, and a single molecule of dioxin can cause cancer, can cause really grievous birth defects. It caused fertility problems in women and in men. If the executives of Norfolk Southern want dioxin in their yards, they should put it there themselves. But every molecule that they put in East Palestine, they need to clean it up. They need to remove it, and they need to make these people whole again. And that's what I'm going to make sure happens as President of the United States. But this occurred because of a failure of government. Norfolk Southern was paying its executives 80% of their salary comes from reducing costs. That's where their bonuses come from. The company should be criminally charged for what it did to this community. It was an act of theft. It stole the property values. It stole the health. It stole the pursuit of happiness from this wonderful community.
They stole our lives.
Yeah, it stole the lives of people.
What would you do?
Preliminarily, we need to unravel the corporate capture at DOT that allowed this to happen. Why isn't the Attorney General investigating this and filing criminal charges? This is a crime, what happened here. This whole town is a crime scene. I mean, what I would love to see President Biden say is to come in and say, this happened because of a failure of government. This happened because these agencies are captured, they're corrupt. And I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. And I'm going to expose the people and fire the people who are not doing the proper testing. I'm going to prosecute the people who are responsible at the outset.
Yeah, they talked about the fact that they believe that the EPA is basically in bed with Norfolk Southern. So they do the tests and they say, oh, the tests all came back fine. Then they bring in their own independent testers who give them different information. So you can see why they are so frustrated.
My 24th trip and 28th round of testing, and it's been an honor being with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., testing with me today meeting with residents. This is how you get things done, and this is how we're all going to work together from all walks of life, all political parties, because we can all buy into preserving and protecting human health and the environment.
See, thank you so much for all of your heroic work and standing up for communities like this and telling the truth to them when the government agencies are built to just lie and to protect industry profits and the mercantile interests and ambitions of these big powerhouse polluters.
Thank you. Thank you.
And also, I brought something for you. This guy in the blue shirt thing was Hank Bagwell's idea. Yeah. So if and when you become elected president, I would, we need elected officials or any public figures like you to come and join if there is any kind of contamination event, because it's about going into the community and doing the right thing.
It's an honor, and I'll be honored to wear this. Thank you very much. You're really a hero.
Oh, I'm gonna switch it back to my photo, sorry. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3.
Scott Smith joins us now. Scott's an independent scientist. He's the Government Accountability Project's whistleblower client. You were listening to Rich's reporting, and I'm sure you're familiar with his reporting throughout all of this. Your reaction to what you just heard, including the EPA's response?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Connell, but the EPA is clearly operating as the public relations arm for the multi-billion-dollar corporation Norfolk Southern. Let me put this in context. Sure. I've been doing this for 18 years and over 60 disasters, starting with my own. What makes East Palestine different is every chemical I've ever come across in 60 disasters is present in East Palestine. Why? It's the chemicals on the train. And why? The dioxins mixed with the chemicals you just cited and the polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, cancer-causing, just like the dioxins. And there has never been a mixture of chemicals released like this. That's what makes East Palestine different and why East Palestine should be declared a public health emergency. In the EPA, they can talk about 100 million, they can talk about 1 billion tests, they can take all the upwind samples and they can manipulate all they want, but they have refused to test side by side with me. And I sent you an email from July 27th. Right. I have been willing to sit down with them and test side by side. They refuse. And on Taggart Street, I can tell you, I have a trend where the fingerprint from where the derailment was matches with what we are seeing. And you have the burning from February 3rd to 9th, creating those dioxins. Then you have the controlled explosion. Then you have the third event. And no one's talking about this. The third event is the ongoing heavy remediation after April 18th, which we are showing an increase in contamination and sulfur run in the sediment and in residents reporting health symptoms. And I continue to offer to sit down with the EPA, but they will not sit down with me.
They won't sit down with you. What about right now, Scott? What would you say about right now, as to best of your knowledge, with the most recent testing and data that you have, East Palestine and the situation, April 2024? What's it like?
Well, I would tell you that the good news, in a way, is, and all the smears and defamation coming at me from the EPA and Norfolk Southern, 60% of my results do say things are within background. 40% is in hot zones. So the hot zones need immediate follow-up testing, and that's by the EPA's own contractors. And they're refusing to test in what I call a hot zone, where you have elevated levels per their own standards set by the EPA. And they refuse to test these hot zones in these affected areas where residents are reporting health symptoms.
Still, present day, right now.
Still.
Yeah.
They still refuse.
Scott, we thank you for your time, Scott Smith, and we'll stay, as we have been, on top of this story.